I want to welcome you Kenyans to really come and work with me, to relieve our burden, relieve our pain, and give these children a reason to smile, a reason to continue with their life. Greg was in Form 2 at Jamhuri High School, and he's not been in school since May.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching us. This is Martha Soipan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For you that you have not subscribed, kindly don't forget to hit that subscribe button, press notification bell, and continue commenting, liking, and sharing. Now, today I'm very humbled and honored because I'm invited by a very strong woman and an extraordinary woman in this society of Kenya. You always tell me that I'm an iron lady, but today I've met a lady who has really been through a lot. But when you look at her, you would not imagine. You can imagine what she has gone through. I don't want to talk about it. I want everything to come from the horse's mouth. And without any other more introduction, allow me to welcome my guest. Please, like I've always said, sit down, take your cup of coffee, some popcorns, and enjoy this episode. It is a painful journey, but I'm sure that you who is there outside there, you'll be inspired, motivated, and like I've always said, we are always not, we don't only just give because we are rich, but because we give because of what God has blessed us with. We need you and you also need us. Without any other introduction, allow me to welcome my guest. Hi, Mommy.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Thank you, Martha.
You're welcome.
We feel honored for you to honor our invitation. Yes, my name is DISEASE Odero, and I am a mother of 5 boys, and currently 3 are living. I'm saying 5 because these 5 have always been, I'm called Mama Ron in this area, and that Ron is not here today. Ron departed from us about 6 years ago, but I'm still Mama Ron. Then I also lost my second born called Paddy. So I'm still Mama Paddy, Mama Ron, I'm still Mama Jim, I'm Mama Greg, I'm Mama Eddie. Wow. All these are my boys.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I really honor you for still calling yourself a mother of 5. I also call myself a mother of 2. Despite my daughter not being with me, may her soul rest in peace, but I've always recognized her. And I'm so humbled that today I meet a person still recognizing our departed souls.
Thank you.
I'm so honored to be here, and I don't want to take much of your time. So, Mommy, take us through your journey.
Yeah, I'm a mother of 5, as I said, and of the 5, 2 since departed from us, and 3 are living. And the reason why I wake up every day in the morning with my head high is because I need to live for these 3. Of these 3, 2 of them are vulnerable, the first 2. These children need you as a mother. They need my presence to cheer them, to remind them that indeed they have dreams in their life that they have to accomplish, and to remind them that even though they may wake up with pain here and there, oh mom, it's my head, oh mom, it's my chest, oh mom, it's my stomach, it's my leg, it's my this and that. But I remind them that, you know what, we'll go to hospital. But remember, God has a purpose for your life. There's no giving up here. I cannot give up, and you cannot give up. The past will not define our future, and therefore we are going to hospital. But I know that God, who is the healer, is leaving this house with us, and we pray and we go. So this has been really our lifestyle. I've always pointed Christ to these children because there's no other person. Not even the doctors can do anything. I am a nurse personally. I cannot do any much because I've seen 2 children live in my hand, in my very presence, and there's nothing I can do as a mother. You only tell God, thank you, if this is what I have to go through. So, these children were born with sickle cell disease. Now, sickle cell disease is one disease that makes the children become weak because they have a defective hemoglobin. So, more often than not, they experience infections in their blood, in their body, they are very vulnerable to any disease that hits anybody else. Like if it is a flu that is going around, it would hardly pass them. They would be part of the people that would be in the number that is affected by that flu. And so there are children who are physically very delicate, but also emotionally they are very delicate. And I know the reason why. It's because all they've known in their life is just pain. Pain, 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 physical pain. And so, you know, oftentimes they would ask, Mom, how do you get this disease? And that question more often has come from my last born, who is free. How do you get this disease? And what happened? Is there nothing that you can do as a mother to decide? Then I tell them, no, it's not me to decide. If I was to decide, none of you would have this. At the worst, you'd be a carrier like me, so that at least you lead your life as normal as is possible. Yeah, but now these children have to take medicine every day, and there are a lot of tablets. They are not few, because they are like on folic acid to ensure that their blood level is sustained up. They have to take what we call hydroxyurea, sometimes very many capsules. Like Greg currently is taking 4 capsules to just sustain them with the destruction of blood cells that continues minute after minute, hour after hour. So that hydroxyurea calms their situation down. And then they have also to be on a PenV. PenV is an antibiotic that supports them to prevent infections that they would otherwise get from the environment, from, you know, daily living, interacting here, there, and other people. So that really prevents, or it ensures that even if that infection comes, it doesn't really find them with no defense at all. So it's like your defense is coming from out. So, and so beyond that, these children have to be on water. Where you've seen this house is water. So each of them has to do like 3 liters. And that they know that they have to do. They have to count their 24 hours. Among the things they are eating, if it is soup with water, if it is uji, they don't like uji very much. And remember also, their appetite is really down. They're children that you really persuade, speak to them, remind them why it is important for them to take food. And that is the time now they'll take food. Yeah, beyond that, their diet is also special. Like Greg does not take red meat. So there's a time Greg decided 2 years ago that, Mom, I'm going to stop taking anything meaty. So he stopped at once. Then when we went to the doctor asked him, do you want to stop slowly by slowly? Or would you? Then I came back and persuaded him. He agreed to, you know, to go back to fish and chicken. So he does that fish and chicken, and now cereals and the other things. And he doesn't like mboga very much, but then he has to take green,
because of
fresh.
Now the condition.
Yes, because of the condition. Yeah, beyond that, fruits is what must be in your house at any given time. And as you know, fruits are not cheap, as it were.
I know.
So as they take their medication, they are also taking food, and food, strategically positioning them for the food that will help them to build their cells that get destroyed from time and time again, and then also to prevent infections. We know now the fresh vegetables and the fruits. And beyond that, you also just try to replace the food that the disease itself is using to fight, you know, to destroy, to develop itself. So because a lot of that food is also going towards fighting the disease, more often than not you find these children, they are slimmer, they are lighter than their, you know, peers and their age mates. And so you really just have to work hard consciously as a mother to make sure that you give it your very best that you can as a mother in terms of making provision. Beyond that, these are children that you need to also be very strategic about. You know, people grow, and when they grow from one stage to the other, there's a lot of information that you need to give them, that you are going to grow, but this is what is expected of you. Your pace of growth will not be like, so never be disturbed. Personally, as a mother, I don't feel anything because my children are smaller than their peers. It has never affected me. I have always told myself that even adults, Actually, I keep telling the boys that, you know, even adults are not the same size. Look at even me and my siblings. Are we the same height in our house?
No.
We are not. Are we in the same body shape and structure and weight? We are not. So even you people, never ever compare yourself, because a lot of them could tell me when they were in school that, you know, other children will do this. Children will do this, that they are slimmer than their peers. Then I would tell them, don't worry. They are doing that because they don't know what they are doing. If they knew what they were doing, they would not do that. Number one, even those people who are just normal, they are never the same weight.
Very true.
They can never be the same weight. So
Very true.
let this not disturb you. So I keep really finding opportunities to make sure that these children, as much as possible, they have their peace. They have their peace of mind. That stigma that they face out there in school, you know, some, even with their teachers, very unfortunate. But as a mother, I keep saying, I don't want to pick a fight in school, because I took children to go to learn in school. I did not pick them for, you know, for fights in that particular arena. So I keep dealing with their emotional needs, those stresses at home, whenever they tell me. And the good thing is that my children tell me. Like the big one told me about dating and things like that. So I prepared him and told him that, you know what, you can date like any other person. But in general, I can tell you, Martha, it's been a journey as a mother. You fight off so many things, so many feelings. There are this group of people. Sometimes they may be your relatives. They may even be your neighbors, who keep comparing your children with others. There are even relatives who tell me, this child is not growing. What is happening? And you know, that time you're told your child is not growing.
I know the feeling.
And you know, they tell you in the presence of your child, that how come they were born with so-and-so, how come him is still this size and so-and-so is this size? You know, at that point you feel you have to hide that emotion, because you know the child is right there with you when that comment is given. So you have to hide that emotion. You are so hurt, but there's nothing you can do. Then you come and ask God, really?
Why me?
No, I don't ask why me, but you know what I keep asking myself, really, can't people just grow up? Because I know, even if it was me who was to compare my child with another person's child, I will not give such comments that would directly hurt someone. But now, you see, you have to take it, nobody else. You can't run away from it. It is yours to take, and it is yours to deal with. And what I've told myself, it is what I will do after I hear all these negative things that will matter. Hearing, let me just hear. I have had, nimezoea kusikia. I have had too many things, too many negative things. But I thank God that even when I've had, I know there's no one else who can love my children for me.
Very true.
There's no one else who can care for these children. There's no one else that I can give these children to give them the amount of love and the amount of care and support that I can give as a mother. And therefore, it is me and me and me with my boys, nobody else. And that's why I'm fighting. I know that I didn't fight enough for the previous children. I was still a young mother. I was still a lot naive.
How old were they? Maybe someone would ask.
Second born was died at 10 months. So that was a little bubbly, beautiful boy. And hardly did I know. I didn't even think that death would come at that time. At that time, that child was only taking folic acid daily because of it was still little, 10 months. So these are the drugs he had not qualified to start taking. But of course I was trying my very best. Breastfeeding was on, and then just ensuring that when we weaned at 6 months that this child was on the diet that was appropriate for their age, to at least help him to build that immunity, to move on. And of course just being vigilant as a mother, I'm ensuring when you see fever, a little, when you see the child irritable, and then you know there's a problem, and you quickly run to hospital to just consult a pediatrician. But now we lost that child at the time that I least expected, like no sign at all. Things are just changing, like deep in the night, 9 o'clock, when you're thinking this child could be very sick. Then you go to hospital midnight. When you arrive at the hospital, you are being asked, sister, so why did you come? The child begins to play. You know the way children behave. They're so sick at home, but when you arrive at the facility, they are laughing,
okay.
they're doing their thing. If their children, like this one was walking. But that day, he never left the laps, my laps. Ordinarily, he would leave and start walking even in the hospital. He never. So later on, to see that they had a swelling in the fontanelle here, meaning that whatever it is had traveled to the brain, and so the brain was already, there was already increased pressure in the brain. So that child did not make it to morning. The child just died like that, started twitching. And then, unfortunately, as fate would have it, there was also a blackout at that hour. Blackout, there was no, the suction machine that was supposed to remove the secretions as it was twitching could not work because power was not there. And so that child died. And so I moved on with my second born. That time, or firstborn. My firstborn was 4 years that time. And so he moved on until he was the most affected. He was the most disturbed by the disease. You know, each of them has a different trait, and each of them also, it presents differently. So this boy, he was a very strong boy with a strong spirit, very disciplined child, a child that any mother would long to have around them. Very responsible. Responsible on his his siblings, but also very responsible for me. He tried to really hide even his pain from me a lot of times. I would actually just ask him, I can see that you have pain. Then say, no, mom, it's nothing for you to worry about. I already took relief. I already took Doloact. I already took this and that. I'm on my meds, mom, don't worry. There's really nothing. It's not a problem. But you would see when you keenly look at them, when they're not conscious that you're looking at them, you'd see this child really is groaning in pain. So he developed a complication in his toes, and because of excessive accumulation of salt in his joints and what. And so we lost that boy at age 20. He really fought the disease, but he lost that fight in the month of October 25th, 2016. Yeah, and at that point I really thought, I thought I did not do enough as a mother. I thought I should have done better. I thought I should have even mobilized, you know, the whole world to really just come aboard and have this child get the surgery in a safer place. That didn't happen. That didn't happen, and not because it was intentional, not because I slept on the job as a mother, but just because I was still naive. I did not know that you may not want to, you can't fight alone. There are points at which you need to call on people. Like now I'm calling on people based on my past experience. I cannot sit again and wait, because if I sit to wait, it will go the same direction.
Right now there are, how many are they? 3 now?
2 of them.
2.
Right now there are 2 of them that need intervention.
Greg is how old?
Greg is 15 years old. Jim is 21 years old. As we're talking now, Jim developed a problem in the sole of the right foot. So he's not able. You see, this is his walking stick. He's supporting himself with this stick. And so, you know, when I saw that, the whole story about Ron's sickness and the journey with this disease with Ron came back to me. I've not had peace.
May God renew your peace, and may God restore your strength. And I know it's painful. I know it's very painful, and I can really feel your pain. I might not be able to fit in your shoe, but I can feel your pain. Even you narrating the story, you are a very, very strong woman, and I know we have Kenyans, and we know we have God. And the God that has made Jim 21 and Greg 15, he has a purpose with them. And thank you so much for being that mother that you're encouraging them, you're always giving them hope. Currently, What is needed?
So at the moment, Greg is supposed to be going for bone marrow transplant in the US at Johns Hopkins Hospital. And we require 32 million Kenya shillings, or around about 27,000 US dollars to be able to get this done. So we have made a plan. We have had a fundraiser committee in place since the month of May. May is when Greg left the ward at Coptic Hospital. And that's the time the panel of doctors thought that it was important for me as a mother and the family to think about, you know, the current medical interventions that are available for children who are suffering from sickle cell disease. If we could consider you know, getting resources, which, you know, in the hospital they wouldn't know your ability and all that kind of thing. So, but yes, we discussed, and so from that moment, me together with the family and the church, we called on the church to come in, if they could come and just join us and be part of the planning committee. Yes, so we've had this running from the month of June. And up to now we are at 3.1 million, but we're looking at 32 million. So we're still short. We're still short of like about 29 million if it were to really get to start this journey. What I know, Martha, is that I know Kenyans out there have a heart like I do. I've always supported also. When I see something online, I don't take it for granted, because I know what it feels to be in a space like I am now. And so even if personally I had never thought about doing something like that, like I'm doing now, but I always thought, I cannot sit here and someone is really hurting out there. If I can do something, I always do. Sympathy is not going to help me here. Let me go out and call on Kenyans, those who are willing. And not everyone is willing, but there are a lot of people who are willing, but they have nothing. If they came aboard and just prayed, if they just came aboard and just prayed, to me that would be sufficient.
So we've talked about raising the 29 million. And
the remaining
29 million right now. So this 29 million, is it for Jim alone or for both Jim and Greg?
It's for Greg only.
For Greg only.
Yeah, that is what we had set out to do. This has just caught us in between here. So, you know, we can't start again saying that we want 64 million.
Okay.
So we just want to move with this, see what God can do.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's 4th, we're having a fundraising on
the
4th
of October.
Just in case anybody wants to reach out to you, wants to send a contribution, wants even maybe to call and just have a word of prayer, or also visit where the fundraising will be, how will people reach you? Yeah, just face the camera and tell them.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity to call upon Kenyans out there, and even our brethren beyond Kenyans, you know, children of God, well-wishers out there. I know you are there and you are able to do something about this, to support my family, support Greg, to at least turn around Greg's story, turn his pain into light, turn his pain into happiness, so that he can see the grace of God that has brought him this far, up to 15 years. We have an upcoming fundraiser. We're looking for 32 million, and so far we've been able to raise 3 million, slightly above 3.1 million, meaning that we are still having 29 million to go. So Kenyans, we have a fundraiser upcoming on the 4th of October. This fundraiser, we're going to be doing it in Nairobi. It's going to be both online fundraiser and physical fundraiser. So online, we will be able to provide a link that will be able to do this. We'll do this on Soipan channel, Soipan's YouTube channel, so that you can click that link and join us during this live fundraiser. But those who are in Nairobi and the environs, and they are willing to come over and just support us, even just greet us and share word with us, I want to encourage you to come to Maxwell Central SDA Church, opposite Integrity Center, and we are going to have that fundraiser in the old sanctuary. You just get to the gate, you can ask the askaris, where is the old sanctuary? It's very straightforward. It's okay if you're coming driving, you will get parking. Parking is there in plenty. This fundraiser is going to begin next week on Tuesday, as I said, on 4th of October from 5:30 p.m. and we'll go all the way up to even 8 p.m. So please come aboard. Now we have a pay bill through which you can actually contribute to Greg's fund, medical fund, and this pay bill is 804-5909. 804-5909. The name is your the account name is your name. My number is 0720 926 140. 0720 926 140. And the name is Beatrice Anyango Odero. That is the name you will see, Beatrice Anyango Odero. Again, I want to welcome you Kenyans to really come and work with me, to relieve our burden, relieve our pain, and give these children a reason to smile, a reason to continue with their life. Greg was in Form 2 at Jamhuri High School, and he's not been in school since May. We are hoping that by God's grace, once this is done, then Greg will be reintegrated back to school and he'll be able to achieve his dream. Please come and be part of this journey. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 Beatrice. I have no words. I cannot add anything, but the only thing I can say, may God wipe your tears.
Thank you.
And may Kenyans come through to change Greg's pain to be history, to change Greg's story to be a testimony for tomorrow. And I'm very sure that Kenyans have heard you. And one thing I know, that Kenyans are generous. One thing I know, we are not only Kenyans in Kenya, even globally. People are generous. And I know Greg's story will change because there is a God in heaven.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for being a very strong and courageous woman. May God continue giving you the strength, because if it is not for God, honestly speaking,
you will not come this far.
You will not come this far. And thank you so much also for believing in Soipan's fraternity. Yeah, I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. And my final words to my people, I would not add more than what Beatrice has said. We have brought people on Soipan fraternity, and you have really turned their stories to be testimony. May Greg's story be a testimony. You have heard from Beatrice. I could not interrupt her because her story is just an extraordinary story, and this is one of those stories that I do and I'm left with no words to add. And I pray that you have the pay bill number, you have her number there. Please, let's come through. Let's join hands together and let's make Greg smile again. I saw him when I came in here, and I don't think I would want to see him the next time we visit here like that. I would want to see him walking, going back to school, and I'm sure the glory of God will have already visited this home. With me and you, Greg's story will change. Until next time, God bless you so much. Shalom. Bye-bye.